About 15 years ago, I went to go see a massage therapist. He was referred to me, and, and he was also an acupuncturist, and he was known to be very good. So I went to go see him, and I was super excited. Who doesn't love a massage? I'm actually going to get a massage in I'm going to leave in like 10 minutes. Um, and when he touched me, the sexual chemistry that I felt with him was next level. And I don't know if I just mentioned this or not. I was with my husband at the time. He was my boyfriend at that time. We weren't married, but we were living together. And it was like a drug. It was like when he touched me and he was doing the massage, I was like, it was next level, like almost orgasmic. And after this, I went home and I was like stewing in it. Like, what was that? Oh my God, do we have what was this connection about? And I went to see him only a couple more times because it was just too intense. Nothing ever happened. We never crossed the line, but the energy was there and we might as well have been getting it on. Um, but we weren't. The energy was there. So I started to research this in my own journey work, and I was working with a practitioner back then, a different one than I am now. Um, I always work with a practitioner, and we explored it. And it turns out, this is through my meditation and through hypnosis, that he and I had a past life together. And it was my first lifetime as a human, and that was shown like I incarnated here, and this was the first lifetime I had as a human. And I was in a tribe, in a community where they assigned marriages, arranged marriages, and he was not my arranged marriage, but I was arranged with the marriage, and it was someone I didn't love. I mean, I loved him, but he wasn't like my love. And this massage therapist in that lifetime was my love. And he and I were still so super very connected to the multidimensional beings we were before we incarnated, and we were from the same like tribe, so to speak, like cosmic tribe. Sorry if that, I know that word. There's been seeing a lot of stuff online about that word, so I'm being very mindful with that word. But we were from the same cosmic tribe, and we would telecommunicate. We used sex in that lifetime as a way to get closer to God and to open up our psychic powers. So he and I, in this lifetime, we would sneak off and we would have an affair. And he was also married, and one day there was a storm. I don't think I've ever shared this publicly. So if you're listening to me right now, please hold this with reverence. And wow, I just realized that. Please hold it with reverence. Please hold it. Just hold it. That's all I'm asking, because it's really deep, and it's something I'm constantly working on. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because I really hope that it will support you in you tracing patterns back and finding the root. So anyway, one day there was a storm. Like, we had snuck off to be together, and there was a storm, and we couldn't make it back on in time. And so it was like hours later, we were late, and that everyone from the tribe was actually a tribe. Everyone from the community was waiting for us, and it turned really bad. And so we got found out, and the chief or the head of the tribe cut this person's head off right in front of me and right in front of our children. And then I was sentenced to isolation, and I was cut off from the community, and I was cut off from my kids. Um, that was my first lifetime of being a human. That lifetime has set the stage for, I have been unwinding from that and learning from that lifetime still to this day. And so some of the tribes people still wanted to have revenge on me, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Now, I am not a victim. Because I co-created this on some level. I'm still learning from this. However, it looks like I'm a victim because I've had these terrible lifetimes, blah blah blah, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm very much aware of what I'm creating on a soul level, and I think I'm really, really close to clearing it all. Um, so the head of the tribe was getting revenge on me. She showed up in a as a she in this lifetime, and there was a massive breakdown, massive healing. She was a spiritual teacher of mine. They've all shown up as like spiritual teachers, which is interesting. Then another one showed up recently, and all of them, in my experience, my opinion, I am not a doctor, are narcissistic, intensely narcissistic. And so I get like swooned in and I kind of go into a trance, but we have this deep past life connection, very deep. So did the healing work with that. Recently it happened again, and this was through a business relationship. And there was, in my experience, they would say something very different, that it was a deep betrayal and a break of contract and trust. And I realized I was dealing with someone very narcissistic and could not see past their own ego. But the beauty thing is as pain, I'm like, how the frick thought of what? Am I back here again? And I was taken immediately to that lifetime. And this person was definitely a part of that lifetime as well. And now there's deeper healing happening. And I'm tracing it back once again. So for me, and I'm doing the healing work and I'm getting the support. And for me, the narcissist has been my enemy in this lifetime. If we're in that perpetrator victim role, it has been my enemy. The narcissist is the enemy of the empath. Oftentimes we so want to be seen and so want to be held and so want to be, just feel really special. And they're really good at doing that. And then we get involved, and it's the whole thing happens, right? The whole pattern happens. But they have definitely been an enemy for me, so to speak. So here I am again, unwinding another toxic relationship with what I perceive as a very narcissistic person. And it's, again, like this was business, but came in the form of a very spiritual package. And the deep work is happening again. And all of this lifetime has led to every single one of my, is the reason I incarnated into such deep suffering. It is one of the reasons that I stay small. Like, yes, I'm playing a big game, but I'm not playing as big a game as I could. And the opportunity with this piece is creating another level for me to become stronger as an entrepreneur, stronger as a teacher, stronger as a human being, so that I can get closer to that multidimensional being that I was and still am before I incarnated in here. And the lifetimes we're in, right, they may seem like they're forever, like I've been here a lot, but it's microscopic on the real timeline. It's like very microscopic. So what I want to share with you is that whatever you're going through, whatever pattern you have, if you have a pattern of codependency, if you have a pattern of narcissism, if you have a pattern of addiction, you have a pattern of worry, you have a pattern of anxiety, you have a pattern of isolation, there is a way to trace that back. And it's one of the things I did for people for 15 years. And people that even come to me now individually, I track it. I support them in tracking it. So you can track it and get it to the root. I help people with migraines. We track the root of the migraine and get to it and unplug the root and do the healing work. And that's what happens. So you can start doing this by simply writing it down. You don't need to know all your past lives, but you can track it into this life. When did this pattern start? You're like, I don't know. Go into meditation. There is a beginning, and there's sometimes is a middle, and not sometimes, there's a middle, and maybe you're still at the end, you're going toward the end. I'm in it too. And the stretch is to not go into how did this happen again? Instead of looking at the beauty of, wow, this is such an amazing opportunity to heal this deep pattern of narcissism in my life. And even this route, I'm like, am I the narcissist? I'm like, literally like, what the heck? This keeps happening. No, I'm not. I mean, can I be selfish? Hell yeah, I can be selfish. Everybody can be selfish. Absolutely. But there's difference between being selfish and narcissistic. But it's this absolute opportunity to heal. And let me tell you this before we end. This has been my experience and what I'm seeing and observing. Narcissism is on the rise. Like, I don't know if they were held back and they weren't, I don't know, but there's more encounters, there's more experiences, and it is part of the dark. It is part of keeping us down, because if the empaths are knocked out from severe narcissistic abuse, and I've seen people die from narcissistic abuse, by being abused from narcissists, and then they get cancer and die. It is real. They're vampiric. But if the narcissist, if the empaths, the light workers are in a place of depression or depletion, then we're not here helping the planet. And that's not okay. We're not here helping our family, ourselves, and our and the consciousness of the planet. So I'll leave you with this. Whatever's going on with you is trackable and absolutely healable. If it's something in the body, an imbalance, like I mentioned, like a migraine or some kind of pain, or even an illness, it's all trackable. It's all trackable, and you're able to go back, and more often than not, you can heal it. Like, sometimes some things have gotten into the body that you're in that place, right? Like, where it's gotten ahead of you. But miracles happen too. Miracles happen every day. But track it. And by tracking it, you can start by writing things down and beginning. When did this start? When did I first start? When was the first time I ever felt anxious in my life? When was the first time I ever started like really worrying? When was the first time a narcissist came into my life? What was going on? What was I like? What was my situation like? What was my relationship to myself like? Half of the battle, quote unquote, of being human is half of it is curiosity, observing, and recognizing and owning. It's half the battle. Then the rest is doing the deep work. Please don't avoid doing your deep work. Please don't avoid it. If you are in any way of avoidance, no more. There's lots of support out there. All right. Thank you for holding my sacred, beautiful, very intense experience with the past life that I told you about. Thank you for holding that with reverence. And my name is Beth Osmer, and I will see you on the next video.